So I know Easter's over, but I wanted to show you an Easter craft if you're still going to do that for the rest of the week and kind of do like springy stuff. Here's Bean. You're in the way, sweetie. But it's just an egg and a needle and some paint. What you do is you blow out the yolk and then you paint on it. I wanted to show you like the actual process instead of just painting the egg for you. So what I like to do is shake up the egg a little bit, get the yolk kind of scrambled, because you're going to be blowing it out. It's easier to blow out scrambled up instead of the whole yolk. So you're going to shake it up a little bit, and you can obviously hear and feel the yolk moving around, so it's probably fine. And you poke one at the top and one at the bottom, and you obviously want to try and get them as lined as much as possible so that the yolk doesn't have to go through a map trying to find where to go out. And sometimes you can just poke straight in like this, it's in, or sometimes I scratch at it a little bit if it's a thicker shell, like if it's from my mom's chickens instead of the store. You scrape at the shell a little bit and then poke it so it's weaker. And you want kind of a, like, you don't want like a ginormous hole, but you want it big enough that obviously the yolk can go out and you don't get lightheaded and pass out trying to do Easter crafts. What are you doing, Bean? So it's easier to poke the second hole once you've got the first one done, because you're just doing it in the same area. And you just want to, and you can even do this. Apparently Dad had a drill and was using a little drill bit afterwards, because, you know, he's a man, and obviously. So you just do your hole, and then I like to just kind of eyeball it and go around to the bottom. But you're welcome to use little pencil X's, or you can be a mathematician and like measure the circumference and stuff and do math, but math is for weenies. So I didn't, nor shall I. And you can, when you're in, the needle's in there, you can scramble the yolk up in there also. So that's kind of what I'm doing. Just making sure my hole is big enough so that the yolk will come out. But you don't want it ginormous, just because then you can see it afterwards and it's harder to paint over because it's just a ginormous hole. So it kind of just depends on how big you think you need it, but it's all just preference. So we're just making the hole a little bit bigger on the bottom so the yolk can get out. And this is super kid friendly too, obviously, because it's just painting eggs. If you're worried about salmonella or something, I don't really know what to tell you. It's just an egg, but I mean, and you don't even have to eat it after. Mom just blows them out and then throws it away, but you can cook with it if you want instead of wasting the egg. But eggs are super cheap, so it doesn't really matter. Hi, Bean. You gonna help me blow up the egg? Obviously, you've seen my new friend Legolas. He's gonna be joining us for our vlogs because it's funny and he's cute. Jack wasn't sure about him last night. He was trying to eat him, but it's fine. All right, so you want to make sure your holes are kind of lined up, and then you just pick an end and blow. And you can see it kind of starting to come out, so you just, oh, mine are lopsided, that's why. So mine are at an angle because I can't do anything straight, it's fine. So you just blow it out, and I have a bowl, obviously. Bean, don't play with needles, those are sharp. And then you're good to paint it. So we'll get it blown out. It's stuck. So if that happens, you want to do a bigger hole, because either my egg was still kind of cold from being in the fridge, or it just didn't want to come out. So this is good though, because then you can learn all the tips and tricks for every situation. So I'm going to make my hole a little bit bigger so that the yolk isn't struggling as hard to get out. There we go. Houston, we have takeoff, and I've got a needle stuck in my finger from the yolk. Yuck, Bean, no. Go away. If you have cats or small children that are going to want to play in it, maybe remove them from the situation beforehand. I don't know what's going on, but it doesn't want to come out. I think the yolk is just super ridiculous in there. I'm not going to paint this one, so I don't really care about the hole size because I've already painted them. And I'm just using this for demonstration. But if needed, you know, you kind of have to go to town with this hole. I think there's just some membrane in here. Whatever. See, so this is ridiculously big. You don't want it that big. This one's, oh, ew. This one's decent. It kind of just depends. What we do is hang them on an egg tree, and you glue a ribbon on top, so you can't see the top hole. It's the bottom hole that you're worried about anyway. Sometimes if you blow too hard, it'll crack this guy, and you'll have a bottomless egg. But those can still be turned into crafts. You can just make them like little Easter baskets and put crap in it for your egg tree. So it kind of just depends on what you want to do. But this should come out pretty easy now because the hole's so big down there. Did it. So it's all empty now, and what you want to do is you can rinse it off in the sink, and then you want to let it dry for a little while. Ugh. What I do is I stick it on a paper towel and just let it dry. Obviously you can dry the outside super easy, but it's the inside that you're worried about, because once you start painting, if this guy starts leaking and dribbling, it's going to ruin your paint because it'll like have water lines and it's sticky and stuff. So you want to make sure it's super dry before you paint it and stuff. If not, you can just let it sit, whatever. It doesn't matter. But another fun tip is you get a toothpick. This is obviously my needle, but you can get a toothpick and stick it into one of the holes and dangle your egg so that you don't have to worry about getting paint on your fingers and having a big finger spot that you have to paint later. So you just dangle it and you can paint it, and then you have access to your whole egg. So that's Easter craft. Here's my painted one, and I made the Mad Hatter. Christian did an Oompa Loompa. I don't know, they're all pretty cute, and it's a fun little craft, and I hope you enjoy it. Bye. And then when they're done, they go on the egg tree. Oh. Mike Wazowski.
I really like that one.
Yeah, it's cute. Jerica's fancy. And Christian's painting an Oompa Loompa. Davis did a sloth. Sloths are cool. There's Christian's Oompa Loompa. Lots of hair texture. Fancy. Here's the Mad Hatter.
Cat's in.